Hey everyone, today in this video, I want to show you this app. I think it's kind of amazing with how it helps you stay extra focused. The app is called N10 and it's a productivity tool you can use to stay locked in on one task. I personally struggle with this too. When you try to download it, you'll notice it's actually paid. Now I'm all for supporting the creator, but with the way things are going in vibe coding, we don't really need to pay for apps we like anymore. We can just take the idea and build them ourselves. That's exactly what I did with Windsurf, and let me show you how. I'm just going to straight up tell you that this prompt is what actually made the app work. The main problem with making iOS or Mac apps is that they're built in Swift. Most of these LLMs are trained on web-based technologies like Claude or even ChatGPT. Claude is an excellent model, but when it comes to Swift, it doesn't perform well. I tried this prompt first with Claude, and I'll show you exactly how I built the app and what I went through after giving the prompt. Claude completely messed it up. It wasn't even about the UI. It couldn't get the functionality right. These models can't fix simple things like changing the roundness of a menu. This app is a menu app. It lives in the macOS menu bar, which means there's an extra layer of knowledge these LLMs need. I even attached the documentation, and that didn't help either. What did work was the Gemini 2.5 model. It uses the same amount of credits as Claude 3.7, and it's available in Windsurf. I'm not sure about Cursor, but I think it is. You should start using it. There is one downside which I'll mention later in the video. I'll put this prompt in the video description as well. This is the kind of template you can use to clone any Mac app. It's what you should follow when vibe coding. First is the general prompt. I told it I needed to make a macOS Swift app. Then I copied the app description directly from the N10 App Store page. After that comes the most important part, the actual prompt. This prompt tells the coding agent whether it's Windsurf or Cursor to create documentation before starting to code. I've done a video on Taskmaster too, but this is a completely free implementation. You only need to pay for Cursor or Windsurf. Taskmaster requires you to pay for both the Claude and Perplexity APIs. This method is a solid way to build apps. The prompt asks the agent to create an implementation plan, a project structure, the pages, the user experience, and also handle bug tracking. LLMs forget bugs all the time. If they've already solved a bug, it's helpful for them to recognize it and not repeat the fix. In Windsurf, turbo mode works really well. It makes the LLMs not take your permission. I just placed my laptop on the table and waited 15 minutes. Yes, the app was built in 15 minutes. I didn't even have to check on it. That's pretty wild. We don't really need to supervise anymore because these models know more about building Swift apps than I do. It's better to let them handle it. I also added that testing should be done through Xcode. That's the tool used to build all Apple native apps. I gave it this prompt, which I'll link in the description. Now I'll walk you through what happens next and how you can build your own Mac app. We're here in Xcode. This is what Gemini guided me through. If you use the prompt I'll give you, it will take you through the same steps, but I'll show you how it works. First, create a new project. In the macOS section, which is for building Mac apps, select App, then click Next. Now fill in your organization name and product name. Let's call the product New App, then click Next again. Save it wherever you want, and Xcode will generate the project for you. Think of it like this. Just like Next.js gives you a pre-configured React app, this gives you a pre-configured Swift app. I placed mine in my developer folder. You need to do one thing. Whatever folder you initialized Cascade or Cursor in with the document file, place this Swift project inside that folder. Now let me show you what it started to build. Now if you're thinking this isn't a full guide that walks you through every single detail or a full code along, that's right. I'm just here to show you the process and give general tips on what to do. The most important part is the prompt, and I'll give that to you. Let me show you the prompts. This is the first one I used. After that, I told it I created the app. In the prompt, it's supposed to check in after making major changes, so I told it to continue. I ran into some issues, and over the next 5 prompts, I resolved them. These small apps can have issues, but they're usually not a big deal. They were all minor problems. When I tried building this with Claude, I faced around 14 or 15 issues at once, and none of them could be resolved. But here's what happens now. If you look here, this is the docs folder and this is the N11 folder. Everything gets configured inside the N11 folder. That folder will open in your Xcode app. Now I'll show you how to run it there, what happens if you get errors, and how to fix them. I've opened up Xcode and this is the project I showed you. This is how it will look when you create your own project. When you edit it in Windsurf, some files will change, but since it's based on a template, Most files will stay the same and no new files will be added. You can use this panel to view any errors. Errors will appear after you build the app. To build it, just click on the run icon. Depending on how it's made, it will either succeed or fail. Since mine has succeeded and there are no errors, my app will show up in the menu bar. Now here is the main issue with the Gemini 2.5 model. You cannot add screenshots or images to it. Because of this, if you get errors in Xcode, you'll probably have to copy them manually. What I did instead was take a screenshot and ask ChatGPT to extract the text from it because I'm way too lazy to type it out myself. If you face visual errors, you still can't use screenshots with Gemini. In that case, it's better to switch to another model. I think using Claude at that point is the best option. Since the base is already done and the app is configured, UI issues should be minimal. If you want to use screenshots of other apps for inspiration, you can do that. The Swift library uses standard macOS components by default, and they already look pretty good. But if you're aiming for a specific UI, then you'll need to put that in manually. Let me show you how the app actually works. This is the app. You can add a new session and view your history. Let me show you the history. These are the tasks I tested, and that's part of the feature set. You can also launch it at login, which shows how well it integrates with the system. This is why I said Gemini was good at building the actual app. Claude couldn't do any of this. Now let's go ahead and add a task. Let's say we want to play. We'll set it for 30 minutes and start the session. Look at that. It's a clean and minimalistic progress bar, and I really like it. For me, it's a complete clone. I can modify it however I want. I prefer the vertical bar, so I went with that. Overall, it's just an amazing world we live in right now. Before we end the video, let me show you what to do if you want to export the app and share it with your friends. Once you've built it, open Xcode again, go to Product, then click Archive. Wait for the archive to finish. When it's done, a menu will open. Click on Distribute App. You'll see different distribution methods. You can even connect it to the App Store and upload it there. It's pretty simple. If you face any issues, just use ChatGPT. It's really not that hard anymore, and you'll be able to do it easily. If you want to share it as a macOS app, choose Custom. You'll see another menu. Select Copy App. From there, you'll get an export menu, and this creates an app file. In macOS, an app is actually a single file instead of a folder with multiple files. It goes in the Applications folder, and you can just drag and drop it there. This is what I meant when I said AI has changed the game. Now, whenever you see an app and like its functionality, just copy its description or write one, use the prompt, and build it with Windsurf. I highly recommend Gemini 2.5. It's the best option for building apps from scratch in lesser-known frameworks. If you want to work on UI, I'll post a detailed video or a full workflow for that as well, so subscribe if you want to see it. If you liked the video or found it helpful, please give it a like. If you want us to keep doing this, consider donating through the link in the description. Thanks for watching.